Good morning, y'all. Today is Monday, July 14th, 2025. This is your daily collective tarot and oracle reading on Jade and Green. Today we have the moon in Pisces, so if we're feeling a little bit dreamy, that's pretty much why. But it is in a harmonious state with Jupiter in Cancer, so if we have anything that we're passionate about, certain ideas, we may feel the need to share them with others. As well as the moon is squaring Venus, so if we're feeling a bit restless in that process, we just want to be mindful of those energies with the transits that are currently at play. And as we move into what our daily pool is, I want to remind you that we did a new weekly in-depth reading yesterday that was posted on YouTube and TikTok, so make sure you go check that out on Jade Emerald Green. But you would know if you already watched it that today's card is the Page of Cups. We're going to get a little bit in depth with this. Page of Cups represents us expanding our emotional world. We're looking at the edges, we're seeing how they can go further, because this is the process in which we need to take that assessment in order to have a greater world around us, or within us rather. In order for that to happen, we do need to incorporate something very important. Today's oracle, African goddess oracle, rising oracle. We'll try that one more time. African goddess rising oracle pool is Nunde, the Benin goddess of truth. Now, Nunde's story is that her husband, the Eloa Legba, Eloa meaning deity, kept turning his head, even though he had several wives already, kept turning his head, kept looking at every other person, and she got fed up. And so she was like, okay, you know what? I don't need you. I can be my own husband. I can be my own best friend. Okay? So this is why we see her looking at her reflection and seeing herself clearly for who she is. In order for us to experience the emotional maturity that we need to further our goals, to have a heightened capacity for how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about the ones we care about, how we feel about this world, the truth has to become your friend. Truth isn't always convenient. Truth often burns, but it also heals. And in order to have a level of comfortability that you seek within yourself, to have the confidence, the self-esteem, you have to be in a good standing, a good relationship with the truth, both for speaking it and for hearing it. You know, 2 ears, 1 mouth. So, yeah, expand your emotional capacity, especially in this time. What are the feelings that you're used to feeling that aren't really working right now? What are the feelings that you would like to feel that you haven't had the chance to experience as much? I think a lot of us have our base emotions, our base like state of life, right? We all have the capacity to feel happy, feel sad, feel angry, feel, content. But each of us has like a usual gravitational pull to a certain emotion, and that kind of determines our life state. So, you don't want to confuse complacency for happiness. This is my usual emotional world, so because I'm used to it, I'm just there right here. Every day we have the capacity to become a new person. So I think these are great cards to let us know that we can push even further. Okay, that's all I have. So thank you so much for listening and watching the Daily Collective Tarot and Oracle reading on Jade Emerald Green. I will be back tomorrow. Also, make sure if you're trying to just get a download or a perspective of what this week is going to be like, especially with Friday's Mercury MF and retrograde, you may want to check that out. Once again, it's on Jade Emerald Green, TikTok, and YouTube. All spelled JAD33M3RALDGR33N. Can't believe I did that. Okay, bye.